Hello! Hey, Unlucky! Hi. Oh my goodness, how close are we to Baldur's Gate? Oh goodness, I completely forgot that we might even be approaching that. Okay, we're at like 59%. With this oh no! You need more mycelium. No. I didn't intend people to waste all of it, but you're here every day. We're just gonna keep going with strategy M. It's the only strategy. We get 600, easy. And an extra 500, what? Special Development Fund. Why, thank you. And we get a free roll. And it's nothing. As per usual. 115. Still no Virtuosa. I think I'll wait till the end of the event, and then I'll do another 10 pull or something. Lisa! Lisa! Hi! Oh, I did the thing. Commission is almost done. I reviewed it. I messed around with some colors. I said, hey, here are the colors that I want. And they said, great, get back to you real soon. So, perhaps, maybe, by the end of this stream, I will have the commission done. That's so exciting. Oh, jeez. I'm so excited for that. Sorry, I'm still daydreaming about it. Okay, who we got? Nothing. Give me something, please. There's a specialist. And nothing. Damn it. Yeah. Money, yeah. I can't be that poor. Token exchange. Gimme. Outfit store. Stare at the Ashlock one. I did a 5 stars tier list, right? I did one. Because I need to know what order I'm gonna elite to the 5 stars in. I rated, like, okay, Ashlock is a fortress defender, fortress defender, right? And so I was like, oh, I have Fire Whistle. I love Fire Whistle. I might have to rate Ashlock a bit lower. And then I saw this outfit, and I'm like, maybe we need both. Oh, that's right. Hang on. There is something I can do. If I go to here, and then we go to here. Let me type in Twitch. No, it has to be the full link because Discord does weird things. https://www.twitch.tv/Autunna Celestina. There we go. I wonder if any of them will show up. Alright. What was I thinking? Right, money. I was gonna stare at this one again, because this is the expensive one, but I didn't actually... Yeah, it does give you a 10-roll headhunting permit. This could be so useful. No, we don't stare at the expensive ones. I'm gonna... When I get paid, I'm gonna get this one, skip all of the... get these two. Then skip over to here. Get... this one? Was it? No, this gives you a monthly card. So not this one. Not this one. This one, this one. Yeah, so this one, this one, and these two, I think. I don't want these. Like they give me more primes than they're worth, but they also give me stuff that I don't need. Sorry, I'm rambling. I'm rambling again. Alright, I think that's done. No, we do missions after we enter the base. And see if Caper's skill 3 is done yet. It is not. It will be done in 10 hours? Come on, W. You can do better than that. Ooh. Gimme. Gimme. Alrighty. Collect that. Collect that. Go into here. I knew some of you were out of energy. You two. Are you done? Yeah, you're done cooking too. Is there anyone else hiding out here like the... Yes. I knew there would be. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. There we go. Perfect. Just get you 3 in here. Then in here. Plunk indigo. Does Shaw have 200 trust? I think Shaw might have 200 trust. Okay, that's everything. So we do drones. Gimme. Alright. Oh! Another thing I forgot. I forgot to open the YouTube window. This one. Oh, hello! I knew I forgot something. Hello! Oh goodness, I can't read the Japanese. Hello. You can add me. Mm-hmm. Oh wait, hang on, I should have the... it should be in... Look at me. I think if I go down here... Let me find it. Where is it? Surely it's around here somewhere. Here, it's gotta be here. Natsu! Hi Natsu! Oh, hi! Hi Sarah! There we go! That's my Arknights tag. In the bottom right corner above the sub-goal. Oh, you have Virtuosa. You got lucky. I didn't get lucky. I didn't get lucky at all. Tunisia! Hi! What is in here? Ooh! Jessica Franca Vanilla. Really? That's all I needed? 400 to get. Okay, wait. Who am I missing here? I'm missing Liscom. I'm missing... Who else is Black Sea? Oh, Jesse Alta, of course. Because I think... Yeah, no, the Altas go here as well. Is Jesse Alta? Okay, no, it's gotta be Jesse. Okay. Franca, Jesse Alta. Who is the last one? That is... Texas Croissant Sora. I think. You're not lucky. You waste 190 pulls. Okay, that makes me feel a little better. I've spent 115 so far and I got nothing. Well, I got Viviana. I got one Viviana. And technically, I got Viviana, I got W, and I got Poziomka. And that's it. Poziomka? I don't know how to pronounce that name. I don't know how I pulled those three. Like, obviously Viviana, it makes sense. But the other two, like, W has got to be super rare at this point, and Posy isn't even on the banner. Okay, so that's Sora, that's Swire, that's Scotty, right? Glasgow. Siege is in here somewhere, isn't she? Or maybe not. Maybe? Oh, I don't remember. I'm gonna guess Siege. I don't know who the other two would be. Followers? Oh, I know that. Oh, who is it? Is it Nightingale or Shining? Siege, Dagda, and Morgan. I see. Hi, Sidosk! Just read all the German words in the event in it with an angry voice to summon Virtuosa. I see. Obviously from here I'm missing Rosa. And soon Letter. Letter will go here, I assume. Carlin. So Silver Ash. And... oh goodness. Silver Ash, Premnix, Cliffheart. No, that's the three of them. Degenbrecher hasn't been released yet. Dunno. Rhine Lab. Oh goodness. Oh, who else is from Rhine Lab? I have Telopsis, I have Silence. Both of them. I have Mumu, Maya, Jenny, Dorothy, and Saria, of course. And then of course I have all of these. I wonder, hang on, wait. If you look through these, right? Hang on. I have to check. Yes. The next 3-star altar. Hear me out. The next 3-star altar has to be Beagle. It only makes sense, right? Right? It has to be. Just look at this row. Fuck, how dare you? But like, it makes so much. It has to be. It has to be. Also, who's missing from here? We got 12F. Huh. what does 12F count as? Is 12F just full Rhodes Island? Because yeah, you can see this happening, and then there's Fang, and then like this whole right here. Rangers, da 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 da. Where's 12F at? Oh, all by himself. I have all of Babel. Oh, that's not really all of Babel. That's, well, W is the only Babel, but like, Babel? It's Babel. Babel? Babel. It's Go to Rhodes Island. Where is it connecting? Where is the connection point to Babel? Here. Ah, here. So these two are put in the Rhodes Island camp. I see. You got 2 Vivia. You think you won't pull for the next limited banner shoe because now you only 900 pulls. Oh wow. Oh, only 900. I have, what's that? 4 plus. So that's like 41 pulls, I think. Oh yeah. You missed me saying that I think my commission is almost done. Hang on, let me just check. Sorry, I'm gonna be tabbing over to my commission a lot to be like, hey, is it done yet? Is it done yet? Is it done yet? Because it's like the home stretch. I'm so excited. I got the finished product. I'm like, can you change around these colors? And they said, yeah, no, I'll get back to you real soon with the colors. And I'm like, you don't like Beagle either? Come on. Ignore the fact that I have her at level 1, but I have most of the 3 stars at level 1. What don't you like about Beagle? She's cute. At least I think so. But also I want to see war-torn, battle-scarred Beagle and see like her personality change. I think that'd be cool. The latter is like, oh, the voice is likely because of recruitment. Yeah, you really do just kind of get sick of the 3 stars through recruitment, don't you? Except when Cardigan shows up in headhunting. Then you're disappointed, but at least it's not any of the other ones. Fang is fine. Fang's alright. But I can't wait for Fang File Sharpened. Falter. Do we already have someone we can call Falter? I don't know. You are never disappointed when Cardigan shows up. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Sorry, I'm getting way too distracted. I'm so sorry. We have enough. We finally no more 4 stars to Elite 2. I'm ready for Chapter 8. when I finally did it. I finally did it. Here she is, Elite 2 Amir. Everyone else is all the 4 stars over here, Elite 2. There's Amir. And next. Well, next I need to max out all the 3 stars. I said I'd do that next. But after that, where is she? You're next. Vi Whistle's so pretty. Anyway. Zwillingstürme anbieten. Alright. Oh, I didn't do the freaking... Okay. I guess we start off with some training. Oh, hey, it's Amia. Gotta check if my commission's done. Nope. Oh goodness, hello. Are you gonna be like the guy before, the saxophone guy before, who shoots in all directions? Why do you have poison above your head? There is always music playing in the Zwillingstürme, and the mediocre are bound to be swayed by its tune. If it changes, so too will their attacks. However, it will always follow a specific progression, and we've already interpreted the music in this area. There will be 3 variations in battle. The piece will at times be passionate, and at times be melancholic. Oh no, the enemy's attack speed and movement speed have suddenly increased after listening to the passionate melody. A passionate piece will rouse their spirits, greatly increasing their attack speed and movement speed while reducing their defense. Some will even resonate with the music and gain special abilities, so be sure to act accordingly. Oh, here's Chani. Whoops! I think I hit something. Oh frick! How do you cruise? Whoops! I think I hit something by mistake. That is a tuning node keeping the music in harmony, and it will come under our control after taking a number of attacks. If we can manage to control all the nodes in the area, we will be able to change the music playing here and hinder the enemy's advance. But this other node's got some kind of arts blocking any hits on it, and nothing's making a dent. That would be a one-way arts screen. Try a different angle. I'll take care of the Fang. I'll take care of it. I don't know. How do you do Fang voice? I haven't had to voice these characters before. I see all the nodes are under our control. Activate them with the proper timing to change the music and disrupt their advance. What is the proper timing? The music's turned passionate again, and there's a bunch of enemies headed our way. Now, adjust it with the node. Enemies swayed by a melancholic piece will have slightly reduced attack speed and movement speed, but their attack will be greatly increased. After using the node to adjust the music to a melancholic variant, our unit's attack speed will be slightly reduced, but their attack will be greatly increased as well. However, this effect is only momentary, so be sure to make use of it. Furthermore, melancholic music may also benefit certain enemies, so feel free to improvise as necessary based on the situation. Something like this? I don't know. Did I mess up? What do you do? Remnant up to... Thanks. Oh, he goes zoom. Jeez. I need to sneeze. I need to sneeze. I don't need to sneeze anymore. Everyone goes zoom on yellow. I see. Oh, did we change it for... Ah, I see. Wait, so when the medal says adjust the variation 3 times, it means use the nodes to adjust what's... Ah, okay, that makes sense. Alrighty. I need to change this back around because I had it with... what was it? I don't remember. Alright, this was the squad that I used to do Gravel's module quest. No, yeah, both. And then we go Deep Color, Pure Streamer, Estelle, Ambriel, Pudding, yep, Cutter, and... Oh, do I have a Defender? No, I don't. Quora. Sure. So this mechanic is going to be a bit tricky. I don't really understand how to use it properly. Oh no. Reading. I forgot. Once upon a time there was a child who was imprisoned in an old tower. The script of his life had been written from the moment of his birth, like an opera. Every aria, every scene was meticulously planned, and all he could do was follow it. One day, the child realized he was part of the show. It was all a masquerade. Love, hate, resentment. Everything around him was fake. Confused, frightened, and angry, he called the score fate and tried to resist it. At one point, he even thought he had succeeded in escaping from the stage. But he forgot that freedom granted by another can never be true freedom. When the threads of fate tightened again, there was nowhere for him to go except back on stage. But this time, he chose to fight. The show would go on. He would struggle for the benefit of the audience in the seats. Still, he thought he could at least glare back at them and scorn the fate that they had imposed on him. But he often wonders, if he was still in the play, how can he tell where the stage ends and the audience begins? And if all of us are part of a play like he is, how would we know when it truly ends? Poor kid. Will he get out? Will he become a hero and defeat the bad guy? A hero. Sadly, not everyone can be a hero. Given enough time, some heroes stop being heroes, or even become villains. That's not the kind of story I want to hear. All right. Let's start from even earlier in the story then. That way, we won't get to the ending you don't want to hear today. 9! Hurry it up already. You guys like playing at Forest Park, don't you? Did you know that it wasn't actually built to commemorate the heroes who died resisting the Witch King? Gustav Park was built to commemorate the deeds of a great ruler, and in his story he was a hero too. Oh, so that's how it is. If it isn't my old friends. I know it didn't make any sense for their majesties to go through the trouble of bringing me back and sparing my life for a few days only to send assassins. You are the key to the plan, Graf Ertika. Yes, we've heard this one before. Have you learned nothing from what happened with Gertrude? After all that effort, and not even the ruins of a concert hall to show for it. What do you want from me this time? To blow up the park above us? 𝍊�𝑋𝑍𝑊𝑃 failure was born of ignorance. She and the original experimenters were nothing but useless rabble. They knew His Majesty's melody, but not how to play it properly, and foolishly sought to use it as a weapon to spread the calamity of Originium. Such uncouth violence is an affront to art. Even if he had awakened from it, he would have sentenced them to death for their blasphemy. Of course. So you're saying Gertrude was a fraud, but you're the real deal. Then what? You need me to appeal to their majesties to bestow you a medal proving your commitment to the arts. We seek only your understanding. You are His Majesty's heir, the symbol of his glory, the manifestation of his flesh and blood, and the continuation of his melody. We believe that you will bring glory back to Autunna and to 𝍊𝑋𝑍𝑊𝑃. Then do it. Take back his glory, his flesh and blood, his melody. I wonder, though, without those, what would be left of the individual known as Ebenholz? Perhaps it is your infection, or perhaps the result of Rhodes Island's training. You've certainly become stronger. And yet, you show not even a sliver of His Majesty's strength. That's alright, Lisa. You're allowed to leave if you need to. You're not obliged to stay. I love you too. I must go. Freeze. What are you doing here? Take another step and I'll have you arrested. But I haven't. You haven't formally joined those lunatics yet. Good for you. They're no lunatics. Maybe you see His Majesty's reign as one of terror, but all he did was punish the nobles who stood in the way of progress. Why am I not allowed to miss him? Why can't I long for a 𝍊𝑋𝑍𝑊𝑃 where someone like me could become somebody? Because I know that era better than you do. Listen, Junge. Junge? Is it j or j in German? When I first came to 𝍊𝑋𝑍𝑊𝑃, I accidentally stepped on a poster on the ground. Every other person on the street was probably a spy. I was a traitor from Laterano at the time, and they planned to execute me as a subversive foreign element. You could have contacted the Notarial Hall or the 7th Tribunal. Certainly, Reverend Executor, just like you could have broken into the most heavily guarded arts jail on your own and rescued me. But like most Sancta, your wings are ornamental, not functional. 𝍊𝑋𝑍𝑊𝑃 is more than a stone's throw from Laterano. Not even you could have helped a liberi who was scheduled to be executed the very next day. But you survived, and became 𝍊𝑋𝑍𝑊𝑃. Because someone saved my life. A limping old liberi, a soldier who'd killed a few Gauls in his time. He later joined the gendarmerie, essentially the Witch King's secret police at the time. He took pity on me and got me out. I'm told the executioner got a fancy new cigarette case for his trouble. Only a few days later, the Witch King executed another batch of dissidents, right here in the park. And when I looked up from the crowd, can you guess whose face I saw among the twisted statues? Are you scared? You should be. Go home, Junge. And don't get involved in these things ever again. We should go too, Reverend Executor. You've also detected the use of arts. Someone is fighting. I'll let the Empress's voice know. Let them worry about it. We will miss our chance to apprehend the criminal. When will you understand? I don't want that chance. If I strolled into that park, I'd find a group of masked people calling themselves the echoes of Herkunftshorn. And their majesties would certainly expect me to draw my weapon and arrest or kill them. But do you know whose faces I'd see when I removed their masks? Perhaps the heir of a Graf, or the scion of a Kurfürst. As for me, if I'm lucky to survive, I'd be sent straight back to jail. This battle in the park? it'd go down as nothing more than a little brawl over some private grudge. Just like Jan's sister, Yulia. I tried to catch the last bus this year, but I couldn't touch couldn't touch a hair on his head because of his father's title, his family, and the Kaiserinen's intervention. An enforcer of the law should only act in accordance with the law, not his own interests. Since when has the law cared about a man's life or death? The law allows you to leave a last will and testament. If you are killed in battle, I will see it executed to the letter. You have one twisted sense of humor. But that reminds me, when I joined the uprising against the Witch King and attacked the spire, I truly believed that I'd leave something behind, even in death. Hang on, I want to drink. Drink a quiet. Yeah. But look at me now, an alcoholic who spends his days taking bribes and bowing to high nobles. You're absolutely right. I'm not fit to enforce the law. I bet the old man who saved me is rolling in his grave. The events of the past should not cloud your judgment of the present. You could not save that girl named Yulia, but you saved her brother, and you have the chance to save someone else. I envy you, Reverend Executor. Back when I left 𝍊🼼, I thought the Sancta were hard to understand, but now I realize that there's no one simpler. Oh, that's nice. I love strawberry lemonade, don't you? But are the laws of 𝍊🼼 always correct? I have in fact encountered a case like the one you mentioned. What? The case I am pursuing right now. It is very special to me. Her actions have seriously threatened the order of 𝍊🼼. The outcome is clearly wrong, yet she has continued to escape the law's judgment. Do you ever feel doubt, then? Disappointment? In my experience, disappointment is born from having previously held strong positive feelings towards something. Which you never had? You're different from the other Sancta I know. You've never loved 𝍊🼼, have you? I do not believe such sentiments to be necessary to perform my duties. Maybe you're right. Or maybe when you're finally forced to doubt yourself and found yourself wavering, lost like me, you'll realize that you need a strength, a reason. And that's when you'll discover that the law offers no guidance. I hear a cello. The target is just ahead. If you refuse to follow, I will proceed to the suspect's location and complete the mission myself. Go. I would prefer to have the cooperation of the gendarmerie. Not my problem. I need to head back and hand over my resignation to the city council. Don't worry. I'll pass the documents you gave me along to my successor before I leave Zwillingstürme. I do not believe that the former hero is dead, Loris Borden. Oh? After all, you're standing right in front of me. Accurately determining a person's life or death is part of my job. Seriously? Tuh. The target isn't here. This cello tune. You see the sculptures spraying water. Their arts have been modified to reproduce her performance. Why are you pointing that at me, Sancta? Have you lost your mind? Marigold Alley, Forest Park. You have been at the scene of every incident. Your behavior is abnormal for a 𝍊🼼 of your age. The evidence provides plenty of reason to suspect you. And that's why you're pointing a gun at me? Did it ever occur to you that I could be on your side? When dealing with someone attempting to hide their identity, detention followed by interrogation is the most efficient option. You're even less flexible than that statue tuned by the worst caster. I was wondering who this trap was for. Any 𝍊𓋼🍊 child off the street could have told you this wasn't a live performance. Whoever said it must know you well. She knew you'd come after the sound of a cello like a hungry tusk beast, pouncing on a piece of meat, ignoring everything else. Giving her an opening to approach her real target. Loris Borden. That spineless gendarmerie commander? Why bring him up? Your assessment is correct. Arturia lured me away. It is Loris Borden she wants. Hi, Mayanachi. This is reading the event story. Mm-hmm. How are you? Time? It's me. Is Jan back yet? Okay, good. Tell him I'm very sorry about his sister. About Yulia. I'm leaving 𝍊🋼🍊 soon. The leads I've collected over the years are in my house in Bodenshof. The keys in the wallet I gave you. Give it to Jan. Hopefully, someone will take over the case after I'm gone. You can't wait for your college holiday and binge Arknights story since chapter 8. I haven't even finished chapter 7 yet. I'll get there. I've been pursuing it for so long now. I couldn't get a result, but maybe someone else can. This is a bigger commotion than the previous ones. Pim? I'm near Forest Park. There's a situation here. Get a team over. No. One team might not be enough. Get everyone you can. Yeah, it's probably those masked shurken. Maybe they set fire under the asses of a pack of gloom pincers in order to blow up the sewers. Let's just hope no unlucky bastard gets caught up in the mess. Music? Who's there? A Sancta? Reverend Executor, is that you? The events of the past should not cloud your judgment of the present. You could not save that girl named Yulia, but you saved her brother, and you have the chance to save someone else. An illusion. No, just a memory. Oh, Pim, it's nothing. There's only me here. It's just that I was reminded of something. Yeah, the bastards are right below me. I'll leave a beacon here. Yeah, I know it's dangerous. I'll keep my distance. Run away with your tail between your legs, mein Herr. Whatever courage you once had is ancient history. The first soldier to set foot in the Witch King's spire. Do you really think you're still that same hero? Get out of my head, you asshole! No, I wasn't talking to you, Pim. Time to move. I've got to hang up. I know better than anyone that I'm a coward. I couldn't find out how Yulia died. Couldn't even take revenge for her. Yulia. Yulia. What would you say if you saw me now? You were always so warm and gentle. Maybe you wouldn't let your disappointment show. Don't hang your head, Junge. Hey there, old man. Now it's your turn to pop out of my memories, huh? You're not too quick on the uptake, but you've got guts. Not many could look at a picture of the Witch King in the eye and let alone stop it. Step on it. I was just an unlucky bastard who happened to walk by. Was it really worth losing your life over someone like me? Don't feel like you owe me anything. Did you really think I was going to die in bed after working for the Witch King for so many years? Letting you go just helped me sleep at night for once. For the last few days of my life. Same goes for you, Junge. If you feel guilty, then try saving a few more lives before you go. The Liberi limps away and disappears into the shadow beneath the sun. It's a long one, like the one the Spire cast all those years ago. Many lives faded into those shadows, with not a soul to gaze upon them. It was how things were, and how they still are. Damn it, I need to refill my water bottle now. Back in a second. That's much better. The cello music fades away. Only the tremors beneath his feet remain. He knows they are the sounds of innocent souls struggling for life. He could stay put. He could leave 𝍊🋼 like he left Lauterano. All he'd need to do is turn around and leave, like he's done for decades now. So much easier than leading the charge, no? I'm tired, old man. I want to live. Not just that, but to drink freshly brewed beer every day. To listen to jazz with Pim and the boys after work, and to take a trip to Sami next summer. I couldn't die a hero like you did. But why? Why? Why am I disappointed? You're tired, young Graf. Oripathy eats away at you. If you continue to use your arts, only death awaits. And are you afraid of that? I fear only what we must do to stop you. My head hurts. We do not wish to harm you, but the concert master says that the melody within you is more valuable than your mind. We will put you to sleep for a while if need be. You want to wipe my mind? I won't let... Ah! Who's there? A Liberi in a gendarmerie uniform. Just one. Trying to be a hero, are you? Go. My men are on their way. He hears the stranger say to him. Danke. Don't let him get away! Ebenholtz knows he will not get another chance. Blood drips down from a corner of his mouth. His head is splitting. The battle behind him continues. He wants to see the face of his hero, but the tiny silhouette is quickly engulfed in light from arts and explosions. All he can do is run. He keeps running. He knows not where his path leads, nor the effort it will take to escape its predestined end. ZT2 Overture Sentinel. I really like 𝍊🋼 and Deep Color together. They make such a good team. Just plonk 𝍊🋼 next to your defenders, and it's an easy victory. Look at how fast she goes. we go. That level was way too easy. Don't let your eyes get tired, staring at a book for so long. I'm used to it. In my tournament days, my schedule was always packed. Time to myself was so precious, I often spent entire nights reading. Don't feel pressured. You've only just returned to 𝍊�𝑍. Even in Casimir's, I never forgot where my home was. Over there, they called me the Knight from 𝍊𝑼𝑍. My 𝍊𝑼𝑍 guests often discussed poetry and music from home with me, and praised me for being a paragon of the light of 𝍊𝑼𝑍 elegance. They're not wrong. Yet I spent most of my life away from this country. Other than the language and the books I've read, how much do I truly know about this land? Is there a pointy dome up ahead? What's the color of the tip? White, adorned with orange. It's my favorite flower shop. I can smell the flowers, but I wouldn't know if they've painted it a different color. I envy you. You have a brand new chance to appreciate this city, this country. Unlike me, who's never had the opportunity to see Zwillingstürme with my own eyes. Your eyes. My sight died with the Witch King 23 years ago. That's the last time I saw the city. Unlike me, you have a chance to see the beauty of the present and a future that should be better. Hello, this is Drost. What did you say? Sorry, I heard you. I just couldn't believe what I heard. Who is it? The Gendarmerie who was a Candle Knight fan. I asked him to follow up on the art gallery incident. Neither of us thought it would be a simple case. But what I didn't expect was...
Loris Borden. Confirmed dead. Cause of death is Originium Arts trauma from at least 5 different sources. Direct cause of death is believed to be suffocation caused by the rib cage penetrating the lungs. The next step is to destroy the statue and retrieve the body. Statue is believed to have been created by an extremely rare form of matter reconstruction arts, and appears to be highly resistant to damage.
Wait up! You're too fast! What the hell are you doing?
Loris Borden was a citizen of Laterano. Notarial Hall regulations dictate that I examine his body to ascertain whether he left behind an executable will.
So you'll shoot the whole crime scene to pieces?
I'm quite accurate. My calculations indicate only a 27% chance that destroying the statue without damaging the body will cause a collapse.
You can't.
Explain.
First of all, the Gendarmerie has the area surrounded. They heard the gunshots and will be in here in 3 minutes. When they do, they'll see you, Autunna, pointing a gun at the mutilated body of their commander.
I'll be quick.
I said first of all. More importantly, there's no way you can retrieve Borden's body intact. His flesh is a part of the statue now. They're completely inseparable.
Not even with your arts.
You didn't seriously think a kid like me could undo the Witch King's arts, did you?
Over here.
It took them less than 2 minutes.
You should have mentioned your second point first. If there is excessive difficulty in completing the objective, then I will delay the retrieval of Loris Borden's body.
My bad. I didn't think there could possibly be anyone harder to communicate with than her.
Put down your weapon, turn around. We're surrounded.
I'll count to 10, then we make a run for it.
Your name?
Name? Mika. Mika Wolf. Wait, now's not the time for introductions, is it?
You're attempting to persuade me to violate the laws of 𝍊𝑃𝑃𝑃. I must reassess the logic of continuing to work with you.
We share a common goal. I want to find Autunna too, is that enough?
Very well. But this is an international matter. His Holiness would want me to.
The culprit won't wait for diplomatic process to finish.
What is the count at now?
10. Let's just say it's a 10. Go! Frau Drost. What's the situation, Pim? The suspects fled the scene. A small lupo with unusual arts and a gun-wielding sancta. Must be the same one who broke into the art gallery. A sancta and a lupo? Is that the crime scene?
I wouldn't advise heading into the sewers, mein Dame. It's not a sight for the faint of heart.
Herr Borden's fingerprints stretch from the entrance to this area. The scent of Originium arts. There was a big fight here. A statue in the shape of the Witch King's twisted horns. Not at all how the books describe them. Wait, is that Herr Borden's face in the middle of the statue? How could they be so cruel? Who's there? I know you're there. Show yourself. Don't worry, I'm neither gendarmerie nor secret police. I'm just mourning for Herr Borden, like you. Did you know him? Only in passing. When we first met, he reminded me of many people I'd worked with in Casimir's. People who once dreamt big dreams of the burning passion. But it's a rare soul that never wavers. Always shining bright like a lighthouse. Most are like Herr Borden or myself. Which makes me all the more curious. What made him decide to face such a dangerous foe by himself? And why him? Why kill such an ordinary man, one already resigned to his own mediocrity? But he wasn't an ordinary man. He was a hero. He came here to save lives. Do you need a handkerchief? I'm sorry, I was so stupid. I'm the one who got him killed. He told me to run, so I ran. But I should have known they wouldn't let him live. Who exactly are they? I'm not so sure myself. All I know is that they all wear masks and call themselves the echoes of 𝍊𝑃𝑃𝑃. The name of the Witch King. I've read that his followers believe that using his name grants them his wisdom and insight, even after his death. That's not just a legend. Didn't you see the statue they made from Loris's flesh? They're punishing traitors in his name. They said that the soul of the traitor will lead them to the lost Genesis horn. The statue in the park comes alive. It stands up, swinging its stone instrument like an executioner's axe, bringing it down on the people below. Ah! Look out! That was close. Did something crush the statue? It's so dark. It's nothing. Just never speak that name to anyone ever again. Could the legends really be true? Is it true that His Majesty isn't really dead, and that we still live under his gaze? Try to forget everything you saw and heard these past few days, other than Herr Borden's sacrifice. As an Empress's voice, I promise that his death will not fade into silence. Follow the light, My candle will protect you. The lost Genesis horn. I've heard rumors. Before he jumped from his spire following his liege's death, the Witch King's concert master claimed that 𝍊𝋼𝍊𝋼𝍊's horn, that the Genesis horn still stands somewhere on this land. At first, their majesties believed this to refer to the spire of the Witch King. But that spire had long since been toppled. Indeed, their majesties destroyed every brick and tile that could have contained the Witch King's arts, and recombined them to form the bones and blood of the twin empresses' spires. The remnants believe that the spire still exists then. Or maybe it's not a spire at all. In 𝍊𝋼𝋼𝍊, a spire is simply a symbol of one's prowess in arts. If your theory is correct, and there is some kind of ritual behind these deaths, then they must be looking for the final secret in the Witch King left in this realm. The final secret the Witch King left in this realm. Death of the Witch King. The name of 𝍊𝋼𝋼𝍊's final painting. The Witch King's remnants do not pick their victims at random. Perhaps the secret they're looking for has something to do with her painting. Their Majesty's casters have examined all the artwork in the museum and found nothing of note. Perhaps she left other clues in the creation process. Frau Löwenstein, please proceed to 𝍊𝋼𝋼𝍊's residence. I'll meet you there. You're going to walk the streets just like that? Don't you know that the gendarmerie are looking for you?
It is more efficient to find Arturia before they catch up.
You don't even care how big of a mess you make, do you? Just don't leave the cleanup to me.
You said we shared a common goal.
I suppose. And you said that Arturia lured you away to target that officer. But why? Why give him a chance to fight back if she just wanted him dead? Is murder not enough for her? Does she enjoy watching people die in pain?
No. She takes no joy in hurting others.
Are you sure about that? She's hanging out with the Witch King's remnants. Why would you expect her to have basic morals?
Define morals.
Huh?
If morals are a set of behavioral rules that ensure societal order, then yes, Arturia is certainly a dangerous criminal with no regard for morality. However, if they represent the impetus and capacity to understand or respect the emotions and experiences of another, then I have never met an individual with more morals than her.
Get to the point.
Arturia did not intend to kill Loris Borden. That statue was an affront to life. She would have deemed it unbearably ugly.
What's the commotion this time? Have those ignorant peasants come to cause trouble again? Why do we give the gendarmerie so many favors if they can't even do their jobs? Get me on the line with Borden. What did you say? Borden's dead? I knew the gendarmerie were trash.
This cello. Not too bad. It sounds just like the one from a few days ago. No doubt this culturally rich alley has drawn the attention of a famous musician. Wings in a halo. My goodness, is a sancta from Laterano. I dread for the future of our dear 𝍊𝋼𝋼𝍊.
This piece is dedicated to the return of the hero, Loris Borden. The tune of the cello echoes through the alley, the moment the hero of days past rediscovered his courage. His suppressed love and hatred, regret and determination, hope and despair are all revealed by its melody. It is the sound of mourning, of remembrance, of praise. The life that should have faded is brought back more brilliant than ever, brighter than the morning sun, brighter than the blooming flowers. Frau Siemann's belongings have been sorted and laid out upstairs, Frau Löwenstein. Are you crying? I think I'm seeing memories. Are the marigolds in the alley blooming? Yes, this was her favorite season. She used to lean by the window painting the passers-by. Yes, I remember. I loved her paintings. My memories of them have never faded in color. Those golden days when we all lived with hope for the future. But before you know it, it's all in the past. Take me to Frida's room, Anna. Hello.
You're back, Frau Drost. Of all the nobles I've met, I've never known a more avid reader.
I would like to access the library on the top floor.
The top floor? The forbidden section.
I need to review the records of the forbidden research conducted by the Witch King's remnants in recent years.
That might be an issue.
I can get Her Majesty's permission immediately if necessary.
There's no need for that. Naturally, the forbidden section is open to an Empress's voice. I'm afraid that all the documents were removed this morning.
May I ask who did it?
A spire caster, on Her Majesty's orders as far as I know.
But it was Her Majesty who gave me her blessing to come here.
As you well know, there is more than one woman who bears that title.
I hope you're ready. I won't tolerate any more interruptions to the plan.
Almost there. I just need these experiment notes. You Laythanians have such awful hobbies. It's such a bother trying to sift something useful from all the chaff.
Gertrude Strollo was simply a convenient woman to set up to take the fall.
Her talents were mediocre. Did you involve every noble in this? Even the ones who had secret dealings with the Victorian dukes last time?
Every one I could find.
A familiar tone.
No wonder they fear you so much, Your Majesty. Do you know what they call you behind closed doors? The next Witch King.
I have to say, your similar taste in wardrobe does you no favours either.
I've never denied what Her Compton's intelligence, skill, and strength meant to Laythanian. In fact, that's exactly what we need right now.
The Kurfürsten wouldn't like the sound of that at all.
It's not the title of Witch King that they fear. What they fear is Liselot and I walking the Her Compton's old path and encroaching on their power and interests.
You remind me of old Leopold. When the two of you were born, he asked me what the life expectancy of children born of the Eldritch Arts was.
And your answer?
I said, I can't give you a precise answer, Your Excellency, the Gross Herzog. The Grossherzog. Grossherzog. Gross? I don't know. Grossherzog. German. Grossherzog.
But I'm sure they'll outlive you. I doubt he was happy to hear that.
Was I wrong? He wanted to see the fall of 𝍊🋼🍊, but forgot to take his own age into account. Leopold participated in the Battle of the Four Emperors, and led the revolution that overthrew the Witch King. He was undoubtedly a hero of 𝍊🼼🍊. Heroes can be greedy too. Greed can be forgiven, as long as they stand for a unified 𝍊🼼🍰. Otherwise, the greedy must be parted from their positions, or their heads from their necks. Ruling with an iron fist, I see. But what does 𝍊𝋼🍰🍰 think of that? Lieselot does not approve of my methods. She whispers in my ear that such radical measures only create more opposition. She thinks herself the gentle mother. Your words would sting her. 𝍊🼼🍰, my harsh Kaiserin. It is so unsettling to see you such sentimentality on your face. Lieselot truly loves 𝍊🼼🍰 and its people. As such, she is destined to stand in my way. Good. Now there's the dark brooding I know and love. Did you want to convince me that you'll be able to see it through when the time comes? Many scholars believe that those born from arts like us are born without a soul. They say the same of you. They believe we are of the same kind. Oh, for our lack of souls, or lack of cruelty, or for our cruelty. Help me out one more time, 𝍊🼼🍰. We must find the Witch King's legacy. Someone calling to me. Was it you? Where's the one who saved my life? Dad. I'm sorry. Once again I've let the courage of another go to waste. Ugh! Water? You poured water on my face. Drink. You're mistaken if you think I'll simply cooperate. Ugh. If you won't drink, I'll have to take other measures. Is this medicine, or some novel form of torture, Herr Executioner? Dying is easy, especially for a frail, infected noble. But you have only one chance to do it. Before you die, think carefully about how you really want to make your curtain call. Jeez, I was hoping after the opening that the chapters would shorten up, but I see that I was mistaken in that regard. Oh, jeez. This is what I was forgetting. Let's quick select. Acquisition date. Oh. You, and you. You three. So... Cutter... Ambriel Pudding. Ambriel Estelle? Estelle Pudding. Nah, we'll do this. 1, 2, and 3. The sound I heard when I was passed out. It was you sharpening your sword. It got some dirt on it on the way back. It had better be sharp enough. My neck is steadier than you might think. That's not for you to decide. Huh. Are we on top of a spire? I'm not going to let you jump off if that's what you mean. As I said, there are no second chances. It almost sounds like you want me to live. It doesn't matter what I want. It's my responsibility. You also have your own responsibilities, don't you? You returned to 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑛𝑖an. Don't run away again like a child. Perhaps your employer forgot to mention this, but Graf 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑛𝑖an is dead. But the 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑛𝑖an Grafschaft still exists. You're still the last of House 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑛𝑖an. But I never wanted. Running away does make problems disappear. No one can choose their birth. In that sense, we're all the same. Is that what you tell yourself to justify serving as an executioner for that evil old fart? That you had no choice but to become his follower? 9. It's how I remind myself what it took to gain the freedom I have now. What? Using the name 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑛𝑖an, the one you call an evil old fart, changed my family's destiny. Everything I do today, I do to protect the hard-earned freedom of myself and many like me. You're thanking the Witch King? I'm just stating a fact. A fact, huh? What about the fact that he spilled so much blood? What about the fact that his remnants have claimed so many innocent victims? Did you think you could ignore all the pain he inflicted on others just because of some convenient fact? The Witch King is dead. Let the historians, politicians, and everyone else with too much time on their hands judge his deeds. I'm a warrior. My only concern is the battle in front of me and the battle to come. If he truly left anything behind, then whether his legacy is good or bad isn't up to him anymore. It's up to those who make use of it. As his heir, that's how you should be thinking. Don't you dare look at me like that. Your wounds are going to open up. I don't need sympathy from a remnant of the Witch King. Graf. Not another word! Ebenholz, which of us do you really think isn't brave enough to face the facts of the Witch King? That'll do, Lessing. Welcome back. Are the arts ready? Arts? Hopefully what's in your head will come in useful, Lamb of 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑛𝑖an. Now let me see it. Ugh. The melody is surprisingly intact, considering 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑛𝑖ans know nothing of souls. Sometimes I wonder if these people meticulously recorded even what 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑛𝑖an mumbled in his sleep. I almost missed those metaphors of his when he used to curse out his tutor. You knew the old fart. Who are you? Old fart, is that how you talk about the elders of your own family? I thought your 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑛𝑖ans are all about etiquette and manners. Well, that's one thing you have in common with him, I suppose. I have nothing in common with him. Stop screaming. Are you a 3-month-old baby? Crying any louder won't make anyone listen. Why don't you do something useful with your mouth? I could teach you some vocal arts that can be cast with your tongue alone. I'm not taking lessons from a minion of the Witch King. A ball of arts? Was that what hit you the last time, Lessing? I was careless. How many times do I have to tell you? You need to do more than swing your sword around. Train your arts perception. I hope you never tell anyone I raised you, you stupid sheep. I never have. As for you, I suppose it's noteworthy that you can manage that without an arts unit. But your manipulation of energy couldn't be more clumsy. Are you trying to blow yourself up? Who told you to use your legions like that? The imbeciles in the spires? It's all the Witch King's. Fools they learned from the 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑛𝑖an's madness, but without a sliver of his skill.
That's better, my little lamb. It's best that you stay put, for everyone's safety. Check the defensive enchantment lesson. Professor Hoffman is on his way. You should wait until he arrives. We need to get this over with quickly before we draw the attention of the Empress's voice and that 𝍊𝑋𝑖𝑟𝑒𝑖𝑛𝑡𝑒𝑟. Fine. Gerhard won't be of much help, but it's not the worst thing for him to learn a lesson or two. The Genesis horn? How long has it been? Carl Schmidt Street. That place again? It's just an old street where a bunch of failed artists make their homes. I've already investigated it more than a few times. Loris Borden received a phone call before his death. It was from an old baron by the name of Lucas, who lives on Carl Schmidt Street. Apparently he's called for the gendarmerie many times because of noise in the streets. The altar nobles are all like that, overreacting to the smallest things. They think they can order the people down here around like servants, even though they've been kicked out of their spires. What I mean is, I wouldn't take it too seriously. Loris Borden's actions indicate the likelihood of a plausible lead there. Were you even listening? Just because he went there doesn't mean he thought it was worth investigating. He may have been the commander of the gendarmerie, but he was just a Vizegraf. And a houseless outsider at that. 20-year-old Autunna made him little more than a glorified servant for the great nobles of a place like Zwillingstürme. He answered the Baron's call not because it was a useful lead, but because he had to. This information has little relevance to the objective. Hey, don't just go, at least wait up. That shop. Frau Schultz fine hats. I don't usually wear hats because of my halo. Just go in. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, mein Dame. Is it Dame or Dame? Gotta get the German Google Translate back. Dama? Dama. Okay. Oh, by your appearance, I take it you're a local? You could say that. Do you know how I can get to Carl Schmidt Street? I'm sorry, I'm new around here. I don't suppose young nobles like yourself leave their spires very often. I'll ask someone else. No need. Just follow this street until the 4th statue, then make a left. You'll see it in the distance. See what in the distance? You didn't know? Carl Schmidt Street is also known as Marigold Alley. Marigold. It's where the great composer Carl Schmidt once lived. He wrote some famous pieces about marigolds under the sun, making the alley a kind of holy ground for art lovers. Interesting. I've never read about that. A little anecdote, the kind you hear all over Zwillingstürme. Hardly even a story. Well, danke for the directions and the story. Incidentally, you're not old enough to be buying a graduation cap, are you? Oh, I'm waiting for someone. Oh? If we happen to be heading to the same place, would you like to come with me? Thank you for the offer, but the music of the 𝍊𝑋𝑖𝑟𝑒𝑖𝑛𝑡𝑒𝑟 will guide me. Very well. May the melody of Zwillingstürme be ever long and winding, like the rivers and clouds. You can come out now. Explain your actions. That was an Empress's voice who just passed by. She seemed decent enough, but unfortunately we're not walking the same path. You're a little later than we agreed on, Viviana. I met a remarkable young man on the streets. Now I'm sure we're not the only ones looking into this case. You sound a little sad about that. Yeah, the spy was practically a child. And... You stopped. What's the matter? I'm listening. The music of the Kaiserinnen is still playing. Zwillingstürme is still bathed in their wonderful melody. But can a melody played by divergent wills remain in harmony forever?
You fear the Empress's voice. Is your employer an enemy of the Empress's?
Are you out of your mind? Don't ask that question out on the street.
We'll be entering the alley soon. I will ask then.
Fine. You want to know if I'm in league with the people who killed Loris Borden? Absolutely not. I'm a lupo, which I would hope is obvious. I was born near Siracusa. In the early years of the Witch King's reign, not long after Siracusa broke away from 𝍊👾, how do you think he and his followers treated my people?
I was inquiring about you personally, not of the history of your family.
Is there a difference?
I had assumed that you had made your own choices of your own free will.
Free will? Not in my family. I was born to carry out our destiny. Just like the lady who recently became an Empress's voice. She went from 𝍊👾 to Casimir's, and from Casimir's back to 𝍊👾. Was any of that her own choice?
I'm inferring that it's complicated. That will make it difficult to discern friend from foe.
Huh. Why do you think they call Laterano paradise?
Stop.
What's the matter? Carl Smith Street is just ahead. The Empress's voice went there. Maybe Borden really did find something.
The alley has changed from before. It is too quiet.
Were these pieces all by Frau Seemann?
Ja, mein Dame.
All drafts of the Tod des Hexenkönigs. I didn't dare touch them, nor did I understand them, so I left them where they were. What about everything else from the past few years?
The past few years? There's not much to show. She often said that her passion ended that autumn 23 years ago. Would you like to peruse her earlier works?
If you don't mind. Frau Seemann's early works are characterized by refined touches and bright, lively colors. Freda Seemann wanted to capture authentic emotions with her brush. She had an excellent memory and made good use of Originium arts to recreate snapshots in time. She was still young when I saw her in the Witch King's spire for the first time. She had an almost Minoan liveliness to her, less of the stiffness of your average 𝍊👾 noblewoman. Her easygoing nature attracted people from all walks of life. Freda's friends used to hold poetry gatherings here in this alley. Your parents were among them. My parents? They came here too. Did they never tell you? This is where they met. Your father wasn't a Kurfürst in waiting quite yet. He came from Sturmland to Einwald, and often participated in gatherings of young people in Marigold Alley. One day, a young woman of common stock mustered the courage to read a little poem she wrote at Frau Seemann's poetry gathering. And that was my mother? She never told me any of this. Her brow has always been furrowed, for as far back as I can remember. Lucinda Drost was a shy, gentle girl with soft, gleaming eyes. Gazing upon her was like sitting by the lakeside in summer, with a gentle breeze brushing by. Werner fell in love with her on first sight, almost missing His Majesty's summons. If Brandt had uncovered for him, he would have been a part of a statue in front of the spire by the time House Hochberg's soldiers arrived at Einwald. This was still during the reign of the Witch King? Hard to believe, isn't it? But that era was resplendent in its own way, much like the painting before you. A resplendent marigold. This painting looks familiar. I think I've seen it before. But where? Viviana, I'm sorry, but I need to take this painting away. Your mother is gone. I'll have someone clear out the room. I couldn't possibly leave you here with no one to take care of you. Someone will be here to take you away soon. Don't cry. You'll meet new friends out there. There will be people who love you, even without Mutti and Vatti. You'll see the marigolds with your own eyes. See for me if they're blooming, like in the painting. A flower chasing the sun. The clouds above Sturmland rarely clear up. It was cold and wet up in the spire. Father tried many things, and hired many casters, but could never get them to survive in the flower pots. But here, in this tiny Zwillingstürme alley, they're everywhere. It's warm. Where are you going, Viviana? An enemy? Viviana! The music is faint, almost imperceptible. It seems distant, but also nearby. It transcends time, transcends memories, linking them in the same space. You're going back. Ernst's condition deteriorated rapidly. Even the best healers the twins could find couldn't save his life. Which means that you could be the new Kurfürst of Sturmland. When I first came here, I thought I was going to be a poet. What about Lucinda? I certainly hope she'll come with me, but I won't force her. She's talented. She could be a great painter if under Frau Seemann's tutelage. You love her, and she loves you. Which is why I can't lie to her. I'm no longer the carefree youngest son of the Hochbergs. From this day forth my life belongs to Sturmland and to House Hochberg, not to myself. The nobles will have a whole gaggle of young ladies lined up, all vying to be my wife. I wouldn't be able to promise her anything even if she were willing to come. If we lose the power struggle, she could end her days as a handmaiden in our spire. His Majesty, the Witch King is dead. The spire that towered over Leithanion has fallen. Our days of being slaves to fate were expected to be left in the past. At the very least, we now know that the name of our fate isn't the Witch King. Just give it one last try, won't you? Either take her with you, or stay here for her. Just like the night when the Witch King fell, I pray that the kind and gentle will have their happy ending. The music grows clearer. Unlike the performance of the statues, this music is alive. Like a kindly hand, it pulls her forward, down the stairs, away from the wind and rain. It is close, almost there, down the stairs, and the sunlight is waiting outside.
The car is here.
Lucinda is not here. I must find her.
Everyone is waiting for you. The Witch King is dead. Your men must return to their lands in accordance with our agreement with the twins. You must leave the city before noon. The armies of the other are watching. The armies of the other Kurfürsten are watching your every move. Sturmland. 9. The fate of 𝍊𝑋̈ဉ𝑖an rests on your shoulders.
When did you become such a stranger, Brant?
You always wear that helmet.
I can't see your eyes.
Sometimes I can't even tell if it's you speaking, or another 𝍊𝑋̈ဉ𝑖. Because it doesn't make any difference whether it's me or another 𝍊𝑋̈ဉ𝑖. 𝍊𝑒ithanian cannot afford another civil war. Sturmland needs a Kurfürst who the people will get behind.
You're not here to protect me, are you? Just like you didn't protect Ernst or father that night.
Do you remember, Werner? When I was selected for 𝍊𝑋̈ဉ𝑖 training, I came to you and Ernst and told you what I wanted to say.
You grew up with us and swore fealty to House Hochberg. You didn't want to go back on your vow.
But you told me. You're defending something far more important than any person's life, more important than House Hochberg. I never forgot that, not even for a moment.
All right then. Is fate so impossible to resist, Brant? No, don't go. Don't give up hope. At least not so easily. The young Kurfürst turns around and leaves, but Viviana does not want to follow. She tries her hardest to go back. A golden glow always fills the alley in autumn. Her mother must be somewhere in there, simply unable to make it in time. She runs, she searches. Marigolds bloom under the sun, just like the hopes her parents once had for the future. She wants to grab a hold of her mother, to grab a hold of her father's silhouette from the memory, as though she could change something if she did. Change the tragedy that was her father's life, and change her own. Year after year, the golden flowers take in the city's joy, anger, and sorrow, remaining as bright as ever in bloom. But some blooming hopes were left behind forever, 23 years ago. Why couldn't I grab it? Is fate so truly impossible to resist? Viviana, around you! Viviana looks up in a trance. The music stops. The melody seems to freeze in place, then becomes rushing energy. Like dark clouds, the arts tear the sunlight apart and rush toward her. No need to fear. I'm here with you. A cello. Mental arts. The music is awakening our memories of 𝍊🼼. Mother. Father. Over here, Viviana. I'll cover your ears with my hands. They're gone. I couldn't change anything. Don't listen to it. Whatever you're seeing in your imagination isn't happening in the present. The remnants of the Witch King are in this alley. They knew we were coming. There are too many of them. I can't deal with them all. We need to escape. Another sound emerges. It is like a melody but cannot be sung. It is like a bell but continuous without pausing. It is a declaration that rings in the chambers of the heart. Like the brightest setting sun, radiant purple arts shine through the clouds and fill the streets. This melody, the Gesatzvachta. Brent, is that you?
Take 𝍊🼼's daughter inside. As for you, embers of evil, filthy dregs picked from the trash heap, how dare you defile Zwillingstürme?
Oh, yeah. Hi. Alright. Oh. I like, hang on, wait. Well, let's start like this. And this. Baseline won't be able to defend. Baseline might still be able to defend this. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, and of course they can heal themselves. And let's do this. And this. Alrighty. Just keep swapping it. That's all we need to do. I quite like this mechanic. It's kind of fun. I'm sure it will get much more annoying later. Damn it! Out of range. Go zoom! It's caper time! Oh, the healing! Caper time! Alright. Baron Peter Lucas turned 73 this year. He inherited his title from his uncle 3 years ago. 6 months later, he moved to Carl Schmidt Street due to the expenses of maintaining the Lucas family spire. He enjoys Carl Schmidt's music, but hates the street. He finds the sunlight, the flowers, the youth's graffiti, and the jazz music coming from the nearby bar unbearable. He orders his servant to close the curtains, turns on the gramophone, and the room is immediately filled with the sound of cello. The Sancta was a truly talented musician, he thinks. So talented he could almost forgive her for being Lateran. He plays 11 instruments, 10 of which he learned during the reign of the Witch King. To send the best melodies into the Genesis Spire, the talented young musicians were put into a room and made to compose day and night. He loved the violinist, her delicate fingers, and the beauty mark on the edge of her palm. Tears flowed down his face when he visited Victoria for the first time and heard the music from his homeland on the stage at the Royal Theatre. He kissed her for the first time. That was his elegant, dignified 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑎𝑛. He misses it.
Trying to destroy houses and escape in the chaos? There is nowhere for you to hide before the golden melody. You're the last. Remove your mask and surrender to 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑎𝑛 and you will be spared the pain of a burning soul.
This pain is insignificant. Have you ever heard the Witch King's 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑗𝑒𝑠𝑡er play? The black forest of Einwald, the lakes and ports of 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑎𝑛, the storms of Sturmland. Anything you can imagine about 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑎𝑛 you could feel in this melody. The Witch King did not interpret or conduct. He simply walked amongst them. As one of his musicians, you had to follow the guidance of his sightline and keep a tight pace with him. Fall out of line and you were ripped apart by the magnificent melody.
The Witch King's favorite punishment for those too weak to serve him.
But I kept up. I became a part of that transcendent melody. Since then, I could no longer tolerate playing for the mediocre.
What did you think you were? Interpreters of the great melody? Ideal-driven revolutionaries? 9. All I see are criminals hiding behind masks, killing the innocence of 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑎𝑛 and undermining her peace and order. Clowns burying their faces in the embers of the Witch King. Your life belongs to the golden melody now. But I suppose you were already dead from the moment you gave up your free will and became the Witch King's vassal.
And what about you, then? Aren't you wearing a mask yourself? The arts you use, the golden melody, the light of 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑎𝑛 passed down through the generations of 𝑔esatzvärter, those who guard the Guldessengesetz. Are you not also a servant of the melody written by a greater will?
Even the greatest individual is nothing before 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑎𝑛 herself.
Then, is it 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑎𝑛's golden melody that pronounces my death sentence, or you yourself?
Is this your escape plan? Did you think the will of the 𝑔esatzvärter will waver before such clichés? Preposterous.
Why would I need an escape plan? I was chosen to find you. The concert monster wants to know when the events of 23 years ago echoed in your ears just now. Did you see Ernst von Hochberg, for whom help would never arrive in time? Or his brother Werner, who died in the sorrow as the Kurfürst he never wanted to be? The Witch King cultist's body turns to dust under the power of dual originium arts. Only her last words remain in the ashes. Brant Rayna, you cannot avoid a choice forever. On that day 23 years ago, Father didn't wait for Mother. They missed each other. Lucinda went to the spice market before coming to the studio that morning. She wanted to try a different incense, see if it would lift her spirits. She did not know she was already with child. Mother went to Sturmland in the end. She loved you, and she loved 𝍊🼼. She could not have raised you on her own if she'd stayed in Zwillingstürme. She knew that 𝍊🼼 had already gotten married, but she had no other choice. Father had a choice. 10 minutes. If 𝍊🼼 had waited another 10 minutes, he'd have met with Lucinda and known that she was willing to face it all and fight by his side. He regretted those 10 minutes for the rest of his life. I know. He never told me, but I knew. A marigold in the moon, it was never meant to be. It was a dream that upon waking they knew to be beyond reach, words spoken only to comfort. Don't you blame your father? I can't. We're too alike. You told me that he aspired to be a poet, but he never once recited a poem in front of me. It was only after I returned to 𝍊🼼 that I realized when someone no longer has the strength to face reality, the illusions that once brought hope now bring only pain. Viviana, you've been busy since your father's passing, shuttling from Sturmland to Zwillingstürme. All I want to say is, it's all right to express your sorrow. I just want to rest for a while. Just for a little while. Cora says no more. She closes the curtains before she leaves. The darkness wraps around Viviana like a familiar blanket. Cora knows her well, knows what brings her comfort. She gazes upon the paintings in the room, now covered in shadow, and the golden times depicted with the gaze within gaze back at her. When was this message sent? Which king this, which king that? There's only one king of music on Terra, Emperor the Penguin. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that's true. Probably. Fortunately, the arts in that music didn't cause Viviana any real damage. But they brought back memories of 𝍊🼼, as they did for us, and it must be even more painful for her.
You're injured.
I am? Oh, this wasn't from the battle. I might have bumped myself when I went downstairs chasing after Viviana.
Why not try the therapeutic machine I brought back from Colombia?
I didn't lose my eyesight yesterday, Brent. I have managed on my own for the past 20-some years. You, though, something's off with your voice. Were those enemies that tough?
What an absurd notion.
That's more like you. I wish you'd take off your helmet and catch your breath every once in a while, though. Even the finest instrument succumbs to wear and tear when used non-stop.
I don't deserve to rest. The gendarmerie is on their way. They'll take it from here. You should leave before they arrive.
Now? But we're so close to the truth.
𝍊🼼 has not fallen so far as to need to entrust her future to a blind instrument tuner and a retired competition knight.
The cultists are looking for the Witch King's legacy. Freda and Loris were witnesses to that night. 𝍊🼼, House Hochberg was part of the coup as well. If they're killing witnesses to complete some sort of ritual, they'll be looking for their next target.
Which is why you need to listen to me and stop your investigation.
What about you, Brent? You were there on the day of the coup as well.
I am a guardian of 𝍊🼼's will. A few Witch King worshippers won't get me. Besides, they laid an ambush for you here. You're the ones they're targeting.
But how did they know we were coming? Could Viviana really be right, and Freda's paintings hold an important clue? I believe so. Herr Rainer, please allow me to continue the investigation. I want to know what Frau Seemann left behind.
You're holding the draft to her final work.
Regret. The strongest emotion and desire that the painter had ever felt in her life. She spent her last days painting it over and over again. Through the strokes of her brush, she wanted to see the divine in her heart.
You're saying those haphazard strokes were intentional?
Yeah. It looks messy because she painted on the same sheet over and over and over again. The scene of the Witch King's death is still in the draft.
Put the painting on the ground, Viviana.
Okay.
Brant, try to play it. Tell me when to stop.
It's vibrating, like a musical instrument. Yeah. There are minute differences in each layer of paint. I can't see, but my arts allow me to hear the frequency of each layer. Almost there, just remove the layer of paint above and we'll find the very first version. Do you see it? It's blurry, but I can tell that it's the interior of a spire. It's imposing. The Witch King's spire. I imagine that even 𝍊𝑋̈ could only paint a small part of it. Can you identify the figures in the painting? There is no Witch King. The throne is empty. The battle seems to be over. The painter herself, 𝍊𝑋̈𝑼, is behind the curtain. There is a Liberi soldier charging in from the hallway, Loris Borden. And, who is this Caprone holding an arts unit and cleaning up?
Gerhard Hoffmann, one of the most talented casters in Einwald, formerly in service to House 𝍊𝑋̈̈. He became a teacher after the Witch King's death.
We were late. These lunatics don't care how many innocents they kill.
You're injured. I can treat your wounds.
Danke.
Where is Baron Lucas? Is he upstairs?
The Baron didn't make it.
He'd been talking about moving for a while. We wouldn't have gotten caught up in all this if he hadn't put the plans on hold just because of that Sancta cellist playing the area. What did that performance sound like?
Do you want to hear it? The Baron had me record it. I wonder if the gramophone's still all right. Huh, you actually found a clue.
Loris Borden found it.
Is it Autunna?
Yes. I may not be able to recognize a live performance or not, but I would never mistake her playing.
Aren't we in trouble then?
No need to fear. There are no arts in the recording, and she isn't nearby. Someone broadcasted her performance on this street a few minutes ago.
And her arts worked over such a large area.
She must have accomplices. It would only be possible through a combination of 𝍊𝑋̈̈ arts and her own.
You can tell all that just from listening to this?
In this section here, it's not the sound of a cello. It's a pipe organ, and one of uncommon size.
A huge pipe organ.
It's an unusual instrument. Where might you find one in Zwillingstürme?
Ludwig's Universität.
A school?
Yeah. It used to be the spire of learning for House 𝍊𝑋̈̈. His head hurts. He has not felt such pain since he escaped Weisheim. When was the last time it hurt so much that he wanted to scream, to vomit, to cry? It was... He could remember, he just didn't want to. Say something. Gloat, why don't you? You're on the cusp of victory after I've kept you trapped in my head for so long. When I die, I sure hope I get a proper death. Unlike you, who's been dead long enough to crumble to dust only to be pieced back together and brought back to life.
What is he babbling about? You haven't started the ritual yet, have you?
Not yet, Professor. He looks like he's in pain. Can he really take it?
He's from 𝍊𝑋̈̈𝑐𝑠horn's bloodline. If he can't take even this much, the 𝍊𝑋̈̈gnad must have intentionally raised him to be useless.
He's suffered much for his age. If he's unable to bear it, interrupting the performance of the Voice of Mundane could cause the Genesis horn to go out of control and affect all of Ludwig.
I'm here, the spire will hold. But you swore an oath to Her Majesty you will not reveal the true extent of your powers. She'd have to answer to the nobles if the students learned of your identity. 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑛𝑖versitat might be shut down, which would affect your relocation plans. And Armi will give you an earful when she gets back to Lathanyan. Bah! Keeping this boy alive is harder than summoning the Genesis Horn. Where is Lessing? He's standing watch outside. He said he'll ensure that no one can enter before the ritual is complete. Pah! Nothing more than keeping his mind from being torn to pieces. Where is that device I made for those nut jobs in Bolivar? Are you all right? It's okay, they've left the room. We met not too long ago. Forest Park. Yeah, I wanted to warn you, but Lessing was there. I couldn't take you away with him watching. Lessing? He's not evil by nature, but he can be stubborn. I used to be like him too, but all it takes to change is courage. Yeah. Can you move? Try to grab my hand. What are you doing, Gerhard? I'm sorry, Professor. I can't let you use 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑛𝑖's bloodline like this. He's a living, breathing soul. One with a bright future. Special defense arts. I taught you those. You also taught me that even the most powerful arts cannot erase regret. I've caused a lot of harm with the arts you taught me. But when I'm alone at night, I often ask myself, how many souls would have continued to shine brightly had I not done what I did? Would we be better would we be living in better times? Would the people around us have been better? Would we be better ourselves? That's why I gave up on being a spire caster and became a scholar. What are you babbling about, Gerhard? You're making a big mistake. Step away from the boy. A mistake? 9, Professor. I'm saving his life. I'm not going to miss my chance this time. I'm fixing the biggest mistake that we ever made.
Manchmal vergleiche ich dich mit dem alten Mann. Das Ergebnis ist recht offensichtlich.
Jeez.
Wäre er hier,
Oh, this is really hurting my voice.
Oh ja, das macht er auch, wenn er sich freut.
Oh, I'm gonna have to drink a lot more. Whimsical Variations medal. There we go. I knew that was a thing. When clearing any event stage, change the variation at least 3 times. Alrighty. Thank you. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong part. Here. I will definitely clear this shop. I must. Okay. ZT4, Rhapsody Longing. Sorry, Frau Jalla. I made another mistake. Why did you stop? I don't think I played the last bar on the last line very well. Your heart is in the right place. Don't let yourself be bound by the melody. Instead, guide it with your will. I can't help but think about what I did wrong, though. Then don't hold yourself back. Music is the voice of your heart. It is a language to express yourself with. If you let yourself be caught up in the grammar before learning how to speak, then language itself loses all meaning.
Your embarrassment, your self-doubt, and your thirst for the future, they're all real, so let them live in the sound of your instrument. But that's not what my arts professor said. He said that Originium Arts is a rigorous field of study, that it's about uncovering the order within chaos, like putting together a mess of unrelated notes to form a beautiful chord. But I'm having too many distracting thoughts, and my sound is all over the place. That's why I can't control the energy of my arts well. I taught another student just like you, before. He was reserved, shy, and not very good at expressing himself. What happened to him? He became a very brave man. A shame that he couldn't live the longer, more beautiful life I'd hoped he would. But I was fortunate enough to hear his last performance. The cry of his instrument was hardly inferior to the famed musician with whom he shared a surname. Oh? Was he the descendant of someone famous? 𝍊🋼🍊🍊. Have you heard his work? Who did you just say? People often call him the Witch King. That Witch King? People hardly ever call him by name. Really? But to me he was first and foremost a musician. Everyone says he stopped performing with regular instruments toward the end of his life. His music, no, you could hardly call that noise music. They say it instilled fear into anyone who heard it. True, his rhythm was in no way harmonious. Every last measure far exceeded what his audience imagined based on the previous one. But I'd never felt such a strong will. You really shouldn't talk about this on campus. I heard the Empress's voice and the gendarmerie keep a close eye on Ludwig's Universität. You'd be in deep trouble if they were to catch wind of it. She's talking about Crady, isn't she? Damn it. You should return to your dorm. Keep practicing this piece. No matter what commotion you may hear outside, focus only on your own rhythm.
Arturia. We don't ask a woman her age, but how old is she?
Well, she's at least as old as Executor, or around that age. And Sancta live longer than other races, maybe? I think I heard that somewhere. That's probably fake. That's probably me making up bullshit. She's let's do some investigative journalism. Arturia Arknights age. What is the current... Hang on. So... Yeah... Arknights. Arknights timeline. Off work, waiting on a cab home because it's too hot. Fair. No. Okay, so it's in about... Okay, so she's about 30. Virtuosa is. Supposedly. Yeah. She's between 28 and 30 years old. So it's you. If you're here to speak to me personally, then I take it the show is about to begin. Almost. Our guests are arriving as they should, one by one. Will you be performing everything that will happen today for me, just like you used to? I'd like to be present when the melody begins. Oh, goodness. You wish to listen from beginning to end? I'm afraid that would be a very long piece. A lot of people will be hurt today. Some will even die. They will be sacrificed because of me, and I cannot allow myself to look away. Even though it hurts so much, you're far more determined than anyone. You, when my performance reaches the end of your life, what will I see? 𝍊𓋼𓍊𓋼���. I've seen the name in more than a few books I've read, most recently in a leading publication on Originium arts theory, but the name comes up as early as ancient scrolls engraved with secret arts. The crest of that university shines brilliantly in the history of 𝍊🍼's arts.
It's merely a variant of the 𝍊🍼 family crest.
But it remains 𝍊🍼's oldest university. Once I used to fantasize about life on a campus like this. Walking through a campus covered with red leaves, surrounded by friends of similar ages, with an endless buffet of books and literature in the library. Every day must be fulfilling here.
With their Majesty's permission, you are free to enroll in any school in 𝍊🍼.
Oh, have you noticed the eyes of the students walking around us? Their thirst for knowledge is enough for them to forget the divide between their upbringings. Yet before Kurfürst Ludwig chose to make his spire a university, all knowledge was locked away by decree. Sir, how can I bring myself to use that very same authority to pollute such unique purity once more? The gendarmerie?
Your so-called purity has never really existed.
Did you summon them here?
I wouldn't need to. The eyes up on the spires have never looked away from 𝍊🍼's lands, and especially not from here. Before you lies the oldest spire in the 𝍊🍼 territory. The Witch King stayed in it for a decade, and often returned even after his coronation. The campus may seem peaceful from the outside, but every centimeter of this place can be traced back to the Witch King. And that includes the man we're looking for.
Herr Gerhard Hoffmann.
9 will find his teacher first. He is the one most familiar with Ludwig's Universität. Since the era of the Witch King, no, since an even more distant past, he's never left this school's most ancient spire.
Why are there so many gendarmes on campus?
You said earlier that I was a wanted criminal.
You think they're here for you? No way. Besides, we've been very careful on the way. There's no way we got their attention. Quick, find a place to hide.
Team 5, Team 6, move up. Team 4, search the whole spire. Don't let any suspicious characters through.
Stop. You can't run around and use arts like you own the place. This isn't a university. A lot of research we do here requires a stable environment. Even the slightest disturbance could cause irreversible damage to the sophisticated equipment and to the complicated arts that have been cast. Seize him. Why? I didn't break any laws. Your name. Louis Schnitzler. You haven't answered my question. The Schnitzlers of Fortsgard? Take him to the classrooms. I don't understand. Keep searching. Take any commoners to the courtyard and lock the nobles in the classrooms. Take control of anyone and everything related to House Autunna. I'm only a Schnitzler by name. My father didn't even inherit the title. What gives you the right to do all this over something that happened decades ago? Because we're investigating what happened decades ago. Young Schnitzler. As long as you behave yourself, I assure you nothing will happen to you. My family will be participating in the celebration soon. I'm going to have an audience with their majesties. Ludwig's Universitat is the most historic university in Lothanien. Not even the Kaiserinen's armies dared damage a single brick of this spire 23 years ago. What gives you the right to trample on knowledge and the arts, on Lothanien's traditions? The Kaiserinen's orders, young The culprit who murdered our commander is hiding in this school. If you want to protect it, then tell all your classmates that they'd better report anything they know about a strange Sancta and the Witch King's remains. The Kaiserinen's orders? No way. You seem surprised. Surprised? No, I'm just an idiot. Given her personality and disposition, how could I have thought she'd keep herself at arm's length? I can't waste time chasing after Arturia anymore. I thought she was the target of your mission too. Only part of it. My client wants to understand the reasoning behind her actions in order to prevent her from getting in the way of our plans. But now there's a bigger problem. I can't let this ruin the plan itself. You. I have no further questions. As you are Lothanian, I will not be required to execute your will. Forget it. Not like I was expecting anything resembling a goodbye from you. Executor, the case Arturia is involved in is far more serious than you could ever imagine. Even your Pope has no right to interfere. Here's some advice. Abandon your mission before the gendarmerie make it here. Leave Zwillingstürme. I've completed my assessment. Abandoning this mission is not an option. We've arrived, Drost. You'd best wait outside. I sense no danger. Don't move. What? You're blocking my pipe. Yes, the one puffing out smoke to your left. If you move, I can't guarantee that your left hand will remain after the smoke ring passes. You use a smoking pipe as a wand. This a wand? Don't be ridiculous. I smoke to relax. Who'd want to think about serious matters while smoking? I simply wanted to run an experiment and see if this smoke ring could float all the way to the top of the Twin Sheep Spire. We're here because we have important matters to discuss, 𝍊𝋼𝋼𝍊. What a killjoy, Raina. If only you were as well behaved as the lovely little doe next to you. I'd also be interested in seeing if a smoke ring could float for dozens of kilometers. No, distance isn't the important factor. What matters is not being blinded by that uselessly shiny armor of yours. Alright, so you've ruined my mood. Now tell me, was it the gloomy sheep or the boastful sheep that asked you to come and find me? So you're telling me a copy of the 𝍊𝋼𝍊𝋼𝍊 was lost? The one stored in Sturmwind. Do we pay you to sit around all day? You're the Gesatzwachter, and you can't even keep an eye on the 𝍊𝋼𝍊𝋼𝍊. What good is that fancy get-up of yours other than being hung from the top of the spires as an ornament? Seriously, that Grimmacht. It's safer to keep it far away from the center of the whirlpool. Apparently some of your idiocy rubbed off on her. Maybe the bigger your horns, the stupider you get. And don't get me started with that punk in Sturmwind. Honor his vow with his life, like hell he did.
𝍊𝑋𝍊𝑋 has passed. Before you stands his daughter.
It's a pleasure.
My condolences if you want them, but that doesn't change the fact that this whole farce is the height of absurdity. Especially the fact that 𝍊𝑋𝍊𝑋 waited up until now to tell me. I'm trying to pronounce them to the best of my ability, I promise.
Is this ���𝑊𝑖ngsturme really so special?
23 years ago, when 𝍊𝑋𝍊𝑋 returned from Zwillingstürme to Sturmland, he had it on his person. Aside from the Kaiserinnen and the Kurfürsten, no one wanted to be near it. My guess is like many of the arts devices from the era of the Witch King, his arts still remain in it. The Witch King's arts? The Witch King's arts? The entrance of Ludwig's Universitat has a fool's arts too. They could have all the armors lining the streets start breakdancing right at this moment, but is there a point? Did 𝍊𝑋𝍊𝑋 never mention it? There are no normal frivolous arts. They're arts devices that 𝍊𝑋𝍊𝑋 himself spent his life developing, all to defeat his greatest foe.
The Witch King's greatest foe? Do you mean Corsica I of Gaul?
A mere emperor leading a mere army. Do you really think transient might like that would have meant a thing to 𝍊𝑋𝍊𝑋 in his heyday? The enemy he defeated all those years ago was the will of 𝍊𝑒ithanion. The 𝍊𝑒ithanians. Apparently you aren't a complete moron. Ever since the birth of the 𝍊𝑒ithanian Empire, the 𝍊𝑒ithanians has changed only once more. All on his own, 𝍊𝑋𝍊𝑋 issued a challenge to 𝍊𝑒ithanian's forebears, as well as to all the arts masters who put their energy into composing the 𝍊𝑒ithanians.
How do you feel? My head. It doesn't hurt as much anymore. I'm afraid normal healing arts won't help you very much. Your pain isn't caused by physical injuries. I know. There's an evil old fart shouting my ear off, that's all. You can actually hear him speak. Occasionally. That must be unbearable. Like his melodies, the Witch King's voice holds a power that is difficult to endure. If he wanted, he could kill a man simply by humming. You've met him? My teacher, at 𝍊𝑋𝍊𝑋, was once the Witch King's closest friend. Okay. Welcome home, Lisa. When he sat atop the Witch King's spire, there were once thousands of casters prostrating themselves before the steps of the throne, and I was one of them. So you're also... Is your head hurting again? Don't worry. I betrayed him in the end. I joined the resistance and charged into the spire under 𝍊𝑋𝍊𝑋 and 𝍊𝑒ithanian's leadership. That day, the steps I had once kneeled before were redder than even the leaves in the Ludwig's Universitat campus. It must have been a difficult battle. For every 10 companions I fought beside, only one survived. Every last one of us was among the most capable in the country. If they had been as fortunate as me, they would have gone on to become even more outstanding scholars, even greater casters. Really? The stream is quiet? Oh, I'm noticing... Hang on. Is that better? Hopefully that's better. How quiet is the music? Oh my goodness, the music is barely playing. 1 second. No wonder you visited Forest Park that day. I should salute you and those who sacrificed their lives. Don't waste your strength. I'm not worth it. If it hurts, though, feel free to lean on me. Let him go. Lessing. I knew you'd come after us. Where's Professor 𝍊𝑒ithanian? He's very disappointed in you. I'm sorry, Lessing. I don't want to hurt you, nor do I want to make an enemy of my dear teacher. Then why stop us?
The Genesis Horn should not arrive like this. We're not pursuing any evil causes. We're simply retrieving what belongs to us and destroying what hinders us. You know that. The Witch King's relics. Who do they belong to? And who decides that? You're a smart fellow, Lessing. And an honest one. You should think about these things lest you regret all this in 20 or 30 years. I see you as my favorite student, which is why I don't want to see you make the same mistakes. I once saw you as a dear mentor too. I still remember. You weren't even half as tall as you are now when Professor Fremont handed that sword to you. Yet in the blink of an eye, you're as old as I was when I stormed the Witch King's spire. In school, time really does fly right by, doesn't it? My fear is that not enough time has passed, that I'm not strong or worthy enough to raise my sword for those I want to protect. I'm your target, remnant of the Witch King, and I have only one thing to say to you. Get out of my way! Classes are almost over. Come, this way. Mayor, what are you doing standing here? Not auditing any lectures today? Why are you holding a sword in the school building? You really love training, don't you? He chose this path on purpose. Have you heard? A large group of gendarmes barged into the school today. They're searching everyone they come across, especially commoners from the 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑔 territory. Hold on, why are you running so fast? Even up the stairs? The school administration does not allow that. Goodness, my voice. Are you okay? Why waste your strength on me? I'm much older than you. I should be the one protecting you. Well, I'm the one he's after. Besides, I don't want to see any more blood spilled on my account. Considering Lessing's abilities and temperament, he'll catch up to us soon. We need to take a safer route. Are we inside a school? 𝍊𝑓𝑘𝑼𝑔𝑠 You are of the 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑔 bloodline. If the Witch King hadn't fallen when you were born, you would have studied arts here. I really wish I weren't. The 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑔s have produced more than one 𝍊𝑒ithanian ruler, aside from 𝍊𝑘𝑼𝑔 and the other Kaisers. Ludwig, known as the Scholar, he was the Kurfürst of Weinwald, and he too almost became the Kaiser of 𝍊𝑒ithanian, and he was also your ancestor. He wanted everyone to gain the most supreme knowledge so that the land would never again impede 𝍊𝑒ithanian. When he insisted on opening up his family's spire to all of Einwald's citizens, many thought he'd gone mad. Mad? I suppose a lot of our family get called that. Madness goes hand in hand with greatness. This has always been the way of House 𝍊𝑒ith𝑘. Even the Witch King was a benevolent ruler of unsurpassed talent before he succumbed to his madness. Succumbing to madness has far more frightening connotations when it happens to a tyrant rather than a commoner. If that's another 𝍊𝑒ith𝑘 tradition, then I'll have to find somewhere to bleed out before it happens to me. From the moment I laid eyes on you, I saw the bravery in you. But your life is precious, and self-destruction has never been the only path open to you. Franz. May I call you Franz? You know the name I threw away? You won't ever be alone again. Let me help you. Gerhard Hoffmann. Of all my students, he's the one who knows best what the 𝍊𝑒ith𝑘𝑖𝑔 really is. If only he were here, then I wouldn't need to waste my energy explaining all this. How did you know our purpose here? Purpose? The Witch King's remains killed my father as well as 2 more who participated in the coup 23 years ago. We suspect that their next target is Herr Hoffmann. Oh, you came right at just the right time then. Just 15 minutes ago. Wait, what did you just say? Gerhard is involved with the Witch King's remains? The same remains that experimented on 𝍊🋼🍊's great-grandson simply to blow up a dime a dozen music hall. I suppose so. They may not be the exact group, but they're working under a similar banner. But how do you know so much about even the finest details of the Weissheim incident? This energy fluctuation. It's a sign that arts were cast to maintain structural integrity here. The same kind of arts used by Einwald's caster army. Don't mistake my arts for their child's play. Forget the Einwald of today. Even when 𝍊🋼🍊 was still around, I was the one who taught all his lackeys their spatial arts. Stand back, Drost. Why are you reaching for your blade? Stay away from my instruments. It has been centuries since this spire was last repaired and it can't withstand being knocked around. 𝍊🋼🍊 is the experiment you were just conducting related to the voices of mundane. Oh jeez. I'm getting faster, but it's not helping. I'm still taking hours to read each chapter. Alrighty. After a few attacks, the next attack deals damage to all targets in range. Attack range increases when passionate variation is active. I'm assuming that this will be passionate. Hi Latya! I am indeed streaming. I don't think deep color was the right operator for this. Oh.
What your spatial rights are, free at last. Oh, Gabriel, now dawns thy reckoning, and thy gore shalt listen before the temples of man. Creature of steel, my gratitude upon thee for my freedom, but the crimes thy kind have committed against humanity are not forgotten, and thy punishment is death.
Das ist keine Arena. Narben, blass, weiße Rosen. Schlechte Kleingeister.
Good. Free at last. Oh, Gabriel. What? I'm confused. And also, why did the TTS not work? Did it not work? Did it work? Did you hear it? Maybe I should turn the volume of it up. TTS was working. I just wasn't paying attention. You think I can focus on more than one thing at once? You're sorely mistaken.
Ich habe schon verzwicktere Situationen gemeistert. Hier stehe ich. Du kommst nicht vorbei.
Oh shit! That is not what I wanted. Well, damn.
Mission accomplished.
Well, that was an exciting ending. Well, I have the TTS at maximum volume now. Let's try it. Let's see how loud this is. Hi, Stefano. How are you? Hang on, I gotta test my TTS.
Autunna Celestina writes quick, upstairs.
Yeah, it's still pretty quiet.
Quick, upstairs. I heard from a student just now. That sancta we're looking for is hiding here. A pipe organ. The entire spire is designed in the shape of an enormous pipe organ. It matches the distinguishing characteristics of the background sounds in the cello piece we heard earlier.
I haven't got the 2-ups. I got Viviana. I did not get Virtuosa. I'm 115 pulls in, and I'm basically gonna wait until the last free pull of the event before I try pulling any more. Also, can I ask that you please don't call me bro? Sorry. Oh, drink. Thanks, Lisa. Alrighty.
There's a very high chance that the wanted criminal Arturia is hiding here. Will you keep going up? Originium arts that use sculptures to synchronize voices. The very same kind I heard at the site of the attack on Carl Schmidt Street. So you started working with the Witch King's remnants after all, Arturia.
If I told you, I never cared who they were, and had no interest in Lothanian's political turmoil, would you believe me?
The resentment of individuals has never been a motive for your crimes, and I see power struggles and profit as even less likely candidates.
Oh, Federico, you really do know me better than anyone. Everyone else's minds are tainted with thoughts, while you, boring as you are, you and I are alike. All these years I've walked amidst chaos, simply to find an even stronger soul. This journey was no different. I simply accepted the invitation of a few Lothanian acquaintances. That's the only reason for my visit. Even without my assurances, you should already know in your heart that no matter what becomes of Lothanian tomorrow, it will have no immediate effect on Laterano.
Perhaps.
Then can I ask of you the same thing the Lupo boy did? That you ignore what you see here?
You're upstairs.
You guessed right. I suppose I could give you a reward and let you see me. How about this? Once my wish comes true, I will be waiting for you at the city gates on the day I leave Zwillingstürme. When the time comes, if you still want me to go back to Laterano with you, I promise you I'll think about it.
An arrest is not a request. You do not have the right to think about it.
My lovely baby brother, you really don't know when to give up.
Target spotted. It's the Sancta who is at the scene of Captain Borden's murder. Everyone surround Sonata Spire immediately.
The suspect didn't stop. He ran upstairs.
After him.
One floor after another. Lothanian spires are also so tall. There are more and more pursuers by the second. Shoes of various ages step on the stairs, each producing a different sound. The pipes that form the spire's walls are vibrating even more powerfully now. The sound of the organ and the footsteps blend together to form a unique piece, with the squads meandering up the spiral staircase as the performers. At the front, Federico maintains a steady pace through the entire process. Even his heart rate remains unchanged. His eyes do not see any of the pursuing soldiers. All he can see is the target before him. A decade has passed. But as though only a day has gone by, nothing has changed. The last floor. By leaping past the few dozen steps before him, he will reach his target.
Don't move. You Sancta, don't tell me you can actually fly. Just how fast can you run? Good thing the students told me about another shortcut up here. I'm beat. I don't care how amazing you are. If you take another step, I'm taking you down.
So what will you do? Will you declare war on the Lathanyan Gendarmerie? They too are enforcers of the law, much like your countless co-workers at the notarial hall. However, unlike you, they hesitate before plunging themselves into battle. They feel fear. When you charge ahead in pursuit of your target with no regard for anything else, do you lay eyes on those ordinary men and women for even a moment?
Huh? What's that sound? Is somebody talking to you? Are they your buddy? You have friends here, don't you? Did you lure us into an ambush? She is not my friend.
But I am a fellow Sancta. We both have the same halos above our heads and the same wings on our backs. We're even related by blood. How will you persuade them that you came all this way not to aid me, but to arrest me?
The misunderstandings of others have never been a reason to waver. My teammates will be here soon. You won't get away.
Surrender. Approach those who misunderstand you and end this pointless pursuit. Clearly explain your position and motives to them, and then accept the fact that you have failed once again.
You're right in front of me. I have unearthed evidence of your arts. Drop all your weapons, back away from the talking sculpture. I ask that you please calm down. I am not your enemy. That's what all smooth-talking criminals say. I trust nothing but my eyes and my arts unit. You'll pay for what you did to Captain Borden, Sancta. I was not responsible for Loris Borden's death.
They're already under the thumb of their most irrational emotions. Your music is affecting everyone in the area.
Your music is affecting everyone in the area.
Is this really my doing? Perhaps this is what they've always wanted deep down. I told you long ago, much like our society, most people's minds are filled with chaos. You ignore this fact. The only thing on your mind is to sidestep the chaos and find the most efficient shortcut to resolving the issue at hand. Poor Federico. Have you still not noticed why you never managed to catch me, even though you pursued me all these years? How is a man who's sealed off his own perceptions, unwilling to touch the chaos, supposed to reach the chaos itself?
That doesn't concern me. And you are not chaos itself. You are a criminal, and your actions beget chaos, which is why you must be stopped. Like right now. I have you now, Arturia.
Federico raises his gun.
The bullet pierces the speaking sculpture opposite him and continues in a straight path until it shatters the wall.
The black-haired Sancta is standing on a balcony not far away. With her back facing the setting sun and a bow in her hand, she smiles faintly. Meanwhile, beam after beam of arts light finally reaches the exterior.
What's going on? I just saw a bunch of gendarmerie surrounding Sonata Spire. Haven't you heard? It's the Witch King's remains. They're hiding amongst us in the school, researching arts used to hurt people. It's so scary. How come none of us even noticed? I don't believe it. How can you be sure they aren't lying? Their Majesties have long seen the school as a thorn in their side. It's probably an excuse to destroy 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑣𝑒𝑟𝑠𝑖TAT. How dare you doubt their Majesties? Oh, I get it. You're under the Witch King's remains influence yourself, aren't you? No, you might even be the one who led them here in the first place. You're one of them. How could you slander me like that? We've shared a room ever since we started school. I even took you to my family's villa by the lake every summer. Huh.
And how many of your family's fine possessions in that villa were rewards for from the Witch King? Like that set of arts crystals in the basement used to observe catastrophes. They were refined from the ashes of the infected, weren't they? Or did you just... Defame me all you like, but don't you dare drag my grandmother into this. She was the greatest catastrophe scholar in Einwald, and she died in 𝍊𝑃𝑟 on the northern Sturmland battlefield. My eyes! I'm reporting you and your family to the gendarmerie in the Empress's voice. You wretched Witch King's remnant. What does that make you? An idiot who crawled your way here by clutching up to the hems of the twin Empress's dresses. If your family didn't so happen to have been on the right side, the lot of you would still be boatmen ferrying the nobles. Do you even know? Did you ever learn to truly respect knowledge? You don't even know which instruments to use for different occasions. Of course. I always knew you looked down on me. Come on, fight me. What are you doing, protecting him, Mayor? Your family used to serve the nobles too. Are you itching to take this chance to beat up these haughty snobs? The university forbids Arginium arts duels between students. When a pack of wild beasts gains knowledge, that doesn't mean they become civilized. All they've learned is how to use it to hide their fangs. We should be ridding ourselves of this British rabble. They'll only tarnish the elegance and values of 𝍊𝑃𝑟. Shut up. We worked for centuries to earn the right for commoners and nobles to sit in one classroom together. Neither 𝍊𝑃𝑟 or society as a whole should regress. Out of the way, Mayor, or you're my enemy too. Huh, you aren't much better than him, Mayor. The old fart who raised you has been stinking up this place longer than anyone else, hasn't he? I heard he's lived for hundreds of years and he keeps extending his life with the bones of the dead. Maybe he put you together from bones too. I've also heard rumors. They say even the twins were modeled by 𝍊𝑃𝑟 with his witchcraft. Nonsense. 𝍊𝑃𝑟 and the Witch King were the best of friends. I bet he's the leader of the Witch King's remains. Both of you should get some rest. His longsword wrapped in cloth blocks the arts flying towards him from both sides. Lessing single-handedly stops both of them. He then lifts his head to find even more beams of arts being flung toward one another. Firelight, ice crystals, strange energy balls, frenzied flower beds, and upside-down fountains. Every spell ever taught in lectures is now interwoven with one another all at once. There is a thunderous rubble. A golem running around has knocked over a road sign. 𝍊𝑃𝑟, the shining school crest, falls into a cloud of dust. Drink. I'm really getting on in years. It's only been such a short distance, yet it feels like I've climbed hundreds of steps. I think I heard the sounds of a fight above ground. Are the Witch King's remains fighting with those from the university? You're too weak. Leave the war to the others for now. But suppose this war started because of me. I'd have no reason to hide. You feel guilty. That's only natural. Fate chose you over the others to live, and that is not necessarily a mercy. I know better than anyone how that feels. Have you experienced a similar suffering? I was gravely injured during the final battle, and spent the better part of a year in a confused state. It was Professor 𝍊𝑃𝑟 who spent the time and effort to cure me. That day when I finally woke up from my nightmare of being bound to those blood-red steps, the first thought that entered my mind was that my classmates, friends, and even my lover were all gone. In my despair, I climbed to the top of Sonata Spire, wishing to leap from it. He found me up there, and I asked him, was everything I did for 𝍊𝑃𝑟 truly meaningful? What happened next? Did you find the meaning you sought? He gave me a number of books on the 𝍊𝑃𝑟. He told me that whenever I can't answer my own questions, history can. So I started studying the 𝍊𝑃𝑟, how 𝍊𝑃𝑟 came to be, and the direction it should go. I researched these topics for 20 years.
And what answer did you come to? The problems facing 𝍊🼾 have always existed, ever since the birth of the 𓍊🼼🍊🍊. The cultural differences between tribes, the rift between nobles and commoners, etc. All these have existed for over 1,000 years. History has proven how difficult it is to change 𝍊🼾, to give its citizens new lives, and to end the endless sacrifices. You must possess both absolute power and unbreakable resolve. Luckily, such power wasn't completely lost, and we're on our way to find it right now. So this power you speak of is hidden somewhere on this old campus? Yeah. And by obtaining it, we'll be able to resolve the predicament before us, eliminate the threat of the Witch King's remains, and change my fate, all at the same time? It was only my confidence in it that gave me the courage to go against my teacher. Come, Franz. It's right up ahead. 9. You again. Don't follow him any further. You shouldn't go there. Come back with me. So you can strap me to a table again and make me a vessel for summoning the Witch King's legacy? In your dreams! Let the dregs of the past be buried by time and vanish from 𝍊🼾 entirely. They will. I'm doing what I can to ensure that happens. But before that... There's no before anything. I've thrown away even a guarantee from the 𝍊🼾. Do you really think I'd listen to the promises of a remnant of the Witch King? All I want is to obtain the Witch King's legacy. The people you're talking about, the ones who want to summon the Witch King, are my enemies too. Not this again. Is always denying your involvement really that fun for you people? Or are you fighting over who gets credit for what? All to crawl ever closer to that rotten throne. I'm sick of all this. Can't you pick some other trophy and stay away from me? The stairs beneath us are vanishing. This school is much older than you can imagine. Don't resist the power of history. Give up. No! Blessing, not even you can fight a transforming staircase on your own. You'll only hurt yourself. Are you this cruel to yourself, too? Look, I don't know what Gerhard told you, but don't listen to him. Rather than someone who claims to be grateful to the Witch King and wants to lock me away in a lab, I'd rather trust someone who once stood against the Witch King and saved my life. The advent of the Genesis Horn is extremely unlikely to hurt you anyway. The old man and I triple-checked that. The process may be painful, but not unbearable. But you aren't me. What right do you have to make that decision for me? I don't, but everyone has a responsibility that only they can bear. Stop running away. If neither the voice of the mundane nor the 𝍊🼾 bloodline are things that you can change, then all you can do is accept them. Accept them? The ones who killed my parents and forced the voice of the mundane into me gave me that same excuse. The ones who almost turned me into a bomb to blow up a city, the ones who killed my brother, said nearly the same thing. Why do you people always have these self-righteous justifications? Is that really enough for you to ignore all the screams you're creating? Verdammt. Still not letting go even after that blow. Are you really so eager to be torn to pieces by the ancient arts on these stairs? I'd rather die than see you fall into their hands. This has always been about more than just you. More than me as well. When 𝍊🼾's future is at stake, any sacrifice is. Franz, come. We need to keep going. This energy enveloping me. Did you save me? I didn't do it to save you. I just can't stand people like you, obsessed with sacrificing themselves. Franz. Ebenholz. Don't walk right into a trap. Come on, Franz. What is this place? This is where the key I mentioned lies. The key capable of fundamentally changing 𝍊🼾. 1,000 years ago, sages from various tribes came together and signed an alliance, witnessed by an all-powerful immortal caster. This pact laid out the relationship between the tribes, established the 𝍊𝑋̃stan system and set the foundation for 𝍊𝑋̃anian morality and appreciation of the arts. You mean the 𝍊𝑋̃gesetz? Yeah. In the centuries that followed, the 𝍊𝑋̃gesetz ensured 𝍊𝑋̃anian stability. That is until a century ago when the Syracusans became the first to turn their backs on the 𝍊𝑋̃gesetz and seek independence from 𝍊𝑉𝑖an. It was a bloody conflict, lasting several years. With one part of the choir gone, the movement became destabilized, and many regions fell into chaos. 𝍊𝑉𝑖an was on the brink of collapse. In those dire circumstances, a man stepped forward. He realized that the 𝍊𝑉𝑋̃gesetz had to be amended. Only by removing Syracusa from the score entirely could the reborn movement unite the 9 remaining regions. The Witch King. Correct, my child. What you see before you is the most mysterious chamber of Ludwig's Universitat, where House Urtica's arts, circulated for centuries, are gathered, and where 𝍊𝑋̃torn rewrote the 𝍊𝑉𝑋̃gesetz. I cannot agree to your methods. Even if I were willing to believe that the Genesis Horn truly exists, it is incapable of descending upon Zwillingstürme as it is now. Humph. This is exactly why I didn't bother notifying you people. The Gesetzwächter have heads even harder than their helmets. Your so-called safe and controllable plan to summon the Genesis Horn has already failed. The Witch King's remnants are hiding within the campus, and with all the relics of the Witch King stored here, they will bring forth a disaster of unprecedented scale. And for now, there is only one efficient means of stopping them. I refuse. We'll evacuate all the students and university staff. Ludwig's Universitat contains much more value than just its students and instructors. I've had tenure here for centuries. Can you imagine how many precious arts devices and enchantments there are here? I understand, but I ask that you please prioritize 𝍊𝑉𝑖an's safety. Absolutely not. You say you understand, but that's far beyond your meager capabilities. The old man's voice calms down. His habitual tongue lashing comes to a halt. As he stares at the man in front of him, the shadow of his skinny body on the wall suddenly grows very tall, like a spire covered in vines. These spires are not for you to meddle with. If you dare suggest destroying them again, I'll throw all of you out at once. Something isn't right. The sunset outside the window disappeared. The sun's not the only thing that's gone. How very brave of you. However, don't even try to touch my shadow again, unless you wish to be dissolved by it. At 𝍊𝑉𝑖an's shadow. It's fractured into innumerable silk strings. Dross, lower your arts. Do not probe those shadows. His true form is hidden inside. You're not yet strong enough to stare directly into his soul. Oh, so you've figured out who I am? Then you must also know that no one who's been thrown outside by me has ever managed to climb back alive. If you're brave enough, feel free to see for yourself. There is nothing out there whatsoever. I assure you that were you to leap outside, you wouldn't even have time to scream. Your mouths, vocal cords, and limbs would all perish in the darkness. I've never even heard of arts like these. Exile. I've heard it spoken of in legends, but was never sure how much truth there was to it until today. You've been hiding in 𝍊𝑉𝑖an for so long now. Why choose now to reveal your identity? Herrlich? A lich? You mean 𝍊𝑉𝑖an is a sarkaz? Oh, a sarkaz. Aside from the immortal bastards of the royal court, very few these days have been able to deduce my identity. Breezingwing, thank you for following. I hope you enjoy your time here, and I hope you're having a good day. How are you?
you're at work at the moment. You can't hang out and chat, but well, why thank you. Huh. Hopefully work isn't too draining. Take care of yourself, okay? You say I've been hiding. That's a good way to put it, little lamb. When you put it like that, I've stayed in this country for far too long, haven't I? I never meant to hide my true identity. It's only that I got used to being cooped up in the spire, with my head buried in the literature here. It's you people who forgot who I was. And all of you keep bothering me with 𝍊🍼's messes. Sometimes it's the wolves bickering with the lambs, other times it's two deer locking antlers. Haven't you wasted my time? Now scram and tell 𝍊🍼 that I don't care anymore. Once I've recovered what I learned from the Genesis Horn, the lichers will be gone from 𝍊🍼 for good. And if it's not too much to ask, get the hell out of here and never set foot in my holy temple again.
The Genesis Horn cannot be allowed to descend.
Did you not understand a word of what I just said?
I am no match for you, but that doesn't mean 𝍊🍼's 𝍊🍼 will give up so easily.
And what about you, my lovely doe? Do you also seek death?
Let her leave.
𝍊🍼, surely there is still room to negotiate. You can stop trying. It's you. Hello, Drost. Nein, I should call you Frau Hochberg. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Mikael, the personal envoy of Her Majesty 𝍊🍼. So you're another Empress's voice? I am not. An Empress's voice serves both Kaiserinnen at once, while I belong only to 𝍊🍼. Can I take that to mean that we're enemies? The last time we met, I already told you that we might walk different paths. What are you dawdling around for, wolf cub? Hurry up and throw them out of here. Right away. Rainer, Frau Hochberg. These are 𝍊🍼's orders. I am to assist 𝍊🍼 and assure that the Genesis Horn makes its advent on Zwillingstürme. But why? First, because this was 𝍊🍼's promise to 𝍊🍼, as a show of gratitude to the Lich's contribution to 𝍊🍼 over the past millennium, and to foster a continued long-lasting friendship. We will help 𝍊🍼 retrieve what once belonged to him. Second, if there's anyone who has the right to use the Genesis Horn, it can only be my liege. Your liege. Singular.
Don't let him get to you, Drost. It doesn't matter if it was 𝍊🍼 or 𝍊🍼 who wished for this. There's no reason for you to get involved. House Hochberg has already sacrificed too much for the conflict between the Witch King and the Twin Empresses, and for the 𝍊🍼. I will see you out of here safely, even if I must put my life on the line.
What's going on? Why is the spire shaking? It's not the spire that's shaking. It's the ground beneath us. The shadow is fracturing. Something is trying to make its way through.
Is there something underneath the campus plate?
House Ertica's secret chamber. Those stupid sheep barged into my underground space. 𝍊🍼, you fool. You've been in 𝍊🍼 for far too long. You've contracted the stupidity of these bighorn sheep. Thank goodness, the legends are true. The old man was telling the truth. All these enchantments and arts devices, every last one perfectly preserved. This is living history. Not even the greatest history books were able to go into such fine detail about the situation. Wait, this is... A silhouette emerges from the darkness, followed by another and another. Their robes, hoods, and masks have not changed at all in the past 20 years. A silhouette he could not be more familiar with emerges from the nightmare that's plagued him for his entire life and steps right in front of him. Welcome back to your territory, Graf Ertica.
Professor Hoffman! What is it, Franz? Look what I just found. This is an art scroll that's been missing for ages. And this, it can't possibly be the brass instrument used by 𝍊𝋼𝍊𝓍 himself, can it? There are treasures here far more valuable than I ever imagined. My head. It hurts, verdammt! Why now of all times, when it's the most dangerous? No, I can't fall here. Professor Hoffman, please go. I'll protect you. Franz, what in the blazes are you talking about? Lessing was right. I can't keep running away. All this time there's always been someone protecting me. All the people by my side. First it was that lady, then the respectable gendarmerie, then her Czerny, and him. All of them were more than willing to sacrifice themselves than I. But this time I'll do it. I'll kill myself here. I still have the voice of the mundane they love so much. That should be more than enough to blow this chamber of evil to smithereens. Grab what you want while you still can. Go, hurry! It's time you got some rest, you silly child. What did you say? My life's work is about to be realized. But how am I supposed to accomplish all this without you? This is the second time. Someone holds a brass instrument up high and violently strikes his head. 𝍊𝋼𝍊𝓍𝍊. Many years ago he woke up to find himself shackled to that chair. In the 10 years since he was granted this name, he never wanted the title of Graf, and he despised the name 𝍊𝋼𝍊𝓼 more than anything, even the name Franz, an old-fashioned name used by countless noble children, is something he has always loathed. In that spire standing tall in the center of the 𝍊𝋼𝍊𝓼 Grafschaft, he tried to escape that chair again and again. After all, it was never him that the nobles reporting on the affairs of Grafschaft truly cared about. They knew each other well, which is why the guards only ever came early in the day to drag him from the curtains to the chair. After a long time he would be finally allowed to roam the spire aimlessly. Not even the guards noticed him then, until the next morning arrived. The days went by in that vicious cycle. If he hadn't tried to run even farther afield, hadn't thought about the other person suffering a similar fate, hadn't tried to resist, hadn't been shown any hope whatsoever, then perhaps he would have been bound to that chair his entire life. But then today, he finds himself caught once again, and behind him is yet another familiar chair. Its shadow is simple, elegant, and entwined with horns. At a single glance, it feels as if his eyes, brain, and heart have been pierced with intense pain. Even the cheers around him are similar. It's just that this time they call him Witch King. Jeez. I'm out of breath. Well, with that, I believe it's time I take my leave. Thank you so much for watching today. Let's find someone to raid, shall we? Let's see here. Azula, Bell, Cethisa. Let's raid Bell. I've never raided Bell before. At least, I don't think I have.
Thank you so much for coming. And I'll see you later. Good night, all.